Hi there, Andrew Bell here with you, and today we're looking at the latest on the demand side of the all-important supply and demand equation for the real estate market. It's also vital for a much-needed stimulant for the national economy. But first, the Queensland state budget was handed down last week, and the good news is that there are no increased taxes and no service cuts, but rather there is a proposed series of asset transactions with the intention of returning the state budget into a surplus of $862 million by the financial year 2015-16. Treasurer Tim Nicholls announced a draft plan of action aimed at reducing the $80 billion state debt and the $4 billion in interest that is required each year. The draft plan details a desire to sell or lease $33.6 billion of public assets after the next election, which means Queenslanders get to vote on this. 3/4 of the expected proceeds, or approximately $25 billion, will be used to pay down the debt to just $55 billion. The remaining quarter of the proceeds, or about $8.6 billion, will go towards new infrastructure and investment funding to target more schools, hospitals, roads and other vital infrastructure over the next 6 years. It's good to see that funding for health was up 6% at $13.6 billion, and likewise education was up 7% to $11.8 billion. Now the good news for the Gold Coast is that we're going to get an extra $160 million for the continued venue development of the 2018 Commonwealth Games. A further $11 million has been put aside for the development of the Gold Coast Turf Club into the new home of the Gold Coast Show, and a $14 million allocated for the demolishment and sell-off of the old Gold Coast Hospital at Southport. Boy gee, that suburb of Southport is still the centre of activity here on the Gold Coast. There's also $120 million for the Smith Street upgrade, which is well overdue. So all in all, a well-crafted budget with no controversy, but a plan that Queensland get to vote on at the next election, which is due in 2015. Now to the review of housing demand. Of course, with our massive increase in population of 407,000 over the past 12 months, there's no surprise that we need an extra 140,000 new properties per annum. And that's because there's rising demand through high population number. That is reflected in the monthly sales of new homes, which reached their highest level in 3 years in April. For the 3 months to April, new home sales were up 6%. This is creating a continuous demand for new homes to be constructed. And our next e-newsletter will look at how we're going on the supply side of that equation. Interestingly, in the resale or the second-hand market, there was actually a surge in the number of properties listed for sale, which was up 18.9% on the same time last year. Yet although new listings were way up on a year ago, the rate of sale is much faster, resulting in the total number of listings actually falling. To put it simply, properties have been absorbed by the market faster than they've been listed for sale. So clearly the demand for brand new stock and resale stock is up and is strong. We can't create any more resale stock, we only have what is there. And so it's now dependent on new homes and of course apartment construction. There is some interesting news on that, but we'll get into that next report. Well, we're only days away from the shortest day of the year and the midway mark of 2014. Wow, doesn't life go fast now? Well, until next time, the best of health to you.